there. Thank you so much for making a date with Born to Lead TV show here to learn all about personal development. And it's amazing how many of you showed up in numbers, have subscribed, and continue to comment and engage with us. I do thank each and every one of you for being part of this journey. Share, tell everybody about us, even as we continue engaging in personal development. Remember, this will be your home for personal development. Stephen Muiru, your coach number one, your favorite coach, is here, and it's all gonna be about personal development and all that it entails. If this is the first time you've encountered personal development, well, join us and let's learn together. If you have a few tips and notes about it, type on the comment and let's continue to engage. Thank you once again for making this date with us, and I can't wait to learn together with you.
Hello there. This is Coach Stephen Muiru of the Born to Lead Academy of Personal Development. You are personal development coach of choice. And I keep saying I'm a mindset architect. Yes, I'm that guy who helps you change your mindset. Because you know what? If you want your life to change, the first thing you must change is how you think, is your mind. You cannot change your life with the same kind of thinking that you've been having previously. For you to go to the next level, your mind must first go to the next level. So welcome to our show. And as Esther has said, we are so glad and so grateful that you have responded to this show in an amazing way. We can't believe that just within one short week, we have over 107 subscribers. Please keep subscribing so that you can keep learning what we will be offering. And I can assure you, it's going to be amazing. So welcome to the show.
So today we are talking about personal development.
Yes.
And I know many people are curious as to why personal development is important. And I think you're going to usher us into that journey. Why is it important?
Wow, very good question. First of all, I would say personal development is personal to me because it has done a lot of stuff for me. Let me just tell you what it is like not to be at a level where you have intentionally developed yourself. It's like having a plot of land, and it doesn't matter where it is until that plot is developed to add value. It is not earning you anything. It's just there.
Yeah.
If you have a plot of land in Muthaiga and somebody else has a plot of land in Kayore, as long as both plots are empty, technically,
they both have no value.
Immediate value is the same. And in actual fact, there's nothing they are giving the owners. But the moment you put something on it that then can attract maybe rent or whatever kind of income, then you can consider that that particular property is or has value addition. So personal development technically gives you value addition.
Yeah.
It transforms someone from just having potential to having value. And it transforms someone from just having ability, but putting that ability into some use that then can attract. It can attract maybe revenue, it can attract good relationships, it can attract all the kind of things that you would want in life. Now, away from the plot analogy, allow me to say that personal development is being intentional or is being conscious in terms of enhancing your quality of life, in terms of going after your goals, in terms of improving every aspect of your life.
Okay.
And there are certain aspects that I would want to talk about because we have pillars that define us.
Yeah.
So when you are conscious about personal development, what you're doing is you're intentionally working on these pillars to improve them. And by improving them, you enhance your quality of life.
Okay.
Yes.
So So now you've given us what it entails and what it is, but as a person, how do you start your journey into personal development? And does everyone need to do it, or sometimes you can actually already know what you're about, or do you actually have to go through harnessing of it?
The truth of the matter is that everybody needs personal development, and I wouldn't say that there is a point at which you actually should start doing personal development, because it's been an ongoing process.
Yeah.
The difference here is being conscious and being intentional in terms of taking it to the next level.
So it's about making it conscious.
Yes.
You're always developing, but then now being conscious and now forging better paths.
Yes,
Yeah.
because when you become very intentional, what you're doing is that you are accelerating your growth. You are changing the trajectory now. You're taking it faster than perhaps it should have been or it could have been.
Yeah.
But also, when you are not conscious, there are areas that you tend to neglect. So you don't strike a balance. But when you're conscious, you strike a balance so that you're not leaving out certain areas and you're doing others, so that you look like somebody who you are so good in some things, but in some others you're bad.
Off, yeah.
So overall, you are an unbalanced person. So, because personal development helps you become a balanced human being. But having said that, the way to become conscious or the way to become intentional, it has to begin with you being uncomfortable with where you are. Because any change in life starts with when you feel dissatisfied with where you are, with what you have.
That's usually the turning point for most people.
That should be. I wouldn't say it is, because there are some people who
you ignore.
They ignore, they get comfortable, and therefore they just remain average. But if you can allow yourself to feel uncomfortable, if you can have a bigger dream, if you can think of greater things, what you call thinking big, and you realize you are not equipped in terms of going after those dreams, that's a beginning of discomfort, because you start asking questions like, what should I do? What do I need to do? And that's where then you realize that perhaps you have deficiencies in this area, in that area, in that area. Because I say discomfort is always the genesis of change. If you are not uncomfortable,
you
never change.
There's nothing that you need to change.
But the problem is you'll be seeing people moving ahead and you're wondering, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with you is that you are comfortable. Make yourself uncomfortable. Think about the things you would want to achieve that you haven't yet achieved, and go after them. That's where personal development comes in. Yes.
So they actually say, like, when you're going through life challenges or when you're just going through life without challenge, you introduce a challenge into your life so that then you can develop yourself.
Very true. You disrupt your life.
So when you feel discomfort, you disrupt it. You find something to overturn it.
You know, actually, when you think about yourself, you should also think of it like you are an institution. For an institution to grow, disruption has to happen. And in fact, if you look at the greatest men and women of this world, from when the world was created, they have been disruptors. There are people who look at things and they wonder why they can't be different. They look at status quo and they wonder, why can't we have better? And then they imagine how things can be and ask, why not? Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not this way?
And they go after that. But as I say, there are pillars that one needs to understand. And if you understand these pillars, because they are all part of us, it becomes easier to do your personal development, because then you are able to audit yourself in terms of where you are in each of those pillars. Then you can start working on you.
Maybe to highlight some of those pillars, I think it can give us, direction and guidance as to what pillars to look out for.
I was waiting for you to ask that question. Thank you for asking. So, there are 6 pillars I spell out that everybody needs to think about. And the first pillar is about your spirituality. And for me, your spirituality is an issue of how you relate with your Maker, Who is God to you? Then I say, for you to really have a meaningful life, you have to have a personal relationship with your Maker, God. So many people neglect this particular pillar, but it comes to bite them later, because at the end of your life you realize you did not put yourself here, and you will not be responsible for taking yourself out of this place. We are all
So
here.
there has to be something greater.
Yes, we are all here courtesy of whoever made us. And none of us made themselves, right? I read a book that says there is no atheist in a foxhole. Even those who profess atheism, who claim there is no God,
Yeah.
when they are confronted with their own mortality, the first place they run to is God.
Yeah.
Yes, because they know it is no longer up to them. Your life is not about you.
Yeah. It's very humbling, I think.
It's very humbling.
Yeah.
And rather than wait until you're confronted by such a reality, because we will all one day go, why not start consciously developing a relationship with your Maker? And once you start developing that relationship, you then get to know that you also need to develop good value systems that will help you deal with people. So the second part of your spirituality is about your belief systems. It's about your do's and don'ts. It's about you just being able to treat other people the way you would wish them to treat you. Actually following what Jesus called the universal law. Do unto others
As you
you
want
would
them.
wish them to do unto you. And when you are clear on that, you know how to draw your boundaries. You know what to do, what
Yeah.
not to do.
Yeah.
You have your own moral code of conduct or ethics
In relation to,
to other
others.
people. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know that is contextualized by the fact that God has certain commands He's given us which should help us relate, not only with Him, but with others. So that more or less sums up what the spiritual pillar is. But allow me to say before I go to the next pillar that, you know, as a gentleman called Pierre D.L. Chardin once said, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Wow.
And that simply means your human being is temporary. This body you have is only here for a short period of time.
Yeah.
But your spiritual being is eternal. Before you acquired this body, you existed.
Yeah.
And after you finish your tour of duty here on earth, you'll exist in that other form, the spiritual form.
Yeah.
And that is captured very well biblically, because in the Bible, God says, He was telling Jeremiah, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. He knew you.
He conceptualized
Yes,
you.
He knew. I think beyond concept, He had you in a certain form. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point is this. If your spiritual being is eternal, then
It's something to work on, yeah.
Yeah. It only then means you should work on it. You should take care of it. Because that's the one that has it's not even longevity, eternity.
Eternity.
The body will go.
Yeah.
But where will the spiritual being go?
And I think even for the people who are very spiritual or see life from a very spiritual perspective, they understand how the spiritual influences your physical in all ways, in terms of even manifesting the type of life that you want, the thoughts and the desires that you want. You think it before it actually comes to happen.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. And I've also realized in my own journey, when I involve God in what I'm doing, it becomes much easier.
Yeah.
Because there are places you get to Western and you realize, hey, hapa nguvu zangu zimeisha.
I am alone.
I need help. And this help, you are not going to get it from human beings. So some people are happy you are having your problems. But then you realize you need to call to a higher power. And that higher power is who? God. That's
God.
when your spiritual being really gets engaged.
Yeah.
There are some things when your human body will tempt you. You say, these temptations are too much. How do I overcome them?
Yeah, you pray.
You pray, but bring in that spiritual being. Let the spiritual being take charge.
Over you.
Yes. Involve God in what you're doing. And you realize there's nothing you can't overcome.
You cannot overcome.
Yes.
So, and the second pillar?
The second pillar, very important pillar, is about our health. You know, no matter what goals or aspirations you have, no matter what lofty dreams you have, if you're not healthy, they mean nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we chase, for example, money.
Yeah.
We drive ourselves so hard that we burn ourselves out. We get sick just trying to get money, only to realize once we've acquired all this money, now we have to use all of it, chasing the health that we neglected.
It's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So you need to work on your health. You need to make sure that your body is in tip-top condition. And you know what? This body we have is the only vehicle that God gave us to carry us through the journey of life. Na haina spares. Right now, if your vehicle has a problem, you can go to Kirinyaga Road, you'll get spares. Mwili yako ikiwa na shida, hakuna spares utapata Kirinyaga Road. Isn't it?
No one's giving you their other hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, in so much as I appreciate doctors, I have enough doctor friends. You know, medicine, by and large, it's also toxic. As it works on you to make you better,
Yeah.
it also, if you continually taking medication,
Yeah.
you're actually weakening yourself. You're putting a lot of toxins in your system.
Yeah.
Because the liver has to work to
overwork,
to overwork, to remove those toxins. Fine. If you are sick, you need to see the doctor. But can we think about how we can prevent getting sick?
Yeah.
Or minimize getting
The healthy
sick
lifestyle.
by taking our lives, our health seriously through eating balanced diet, eating at the right time, eating the right portions, also making sure that we are exercising. We are living very sedentary lifestyles. You wake up, you shower, get into the vehicle, you go to the office, get into the lift, you go and sit the whole day, and the cycle continues. And I was reading that, you know, sedentary lifestyle is taking more people's lives than even smoking.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Because most people are likely to be sedentary than to actually smoke. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, have you ever asked yourself why
Yeah.
God created you with joints? Why are you not like
Mobility.
mobile joints? Yeah. Mobility. You are meant to be mobile. You're meant to work, you're meant to flex, you're meant to do exercises. You are not like a table that has nails on it. You can only drag it. But a lot of people are living like that. They want to be dragged, or they're dragging themselves like this. You need to walk, you need to exercise. So on top of eating healthy, also you need to do exercise.
To do exercise.
And you
Holistic.
Yes. And you need to hydrate. You also need to respect your sleep. You should have enough sleep and quality sleep.
Quality sleep. Okay.
Yes.
So that's pillar number 2.
Health.
And number 3.
Number-
So the first spiritual, then 2 is health.
Yes.
3.
So, in fact, all these form what I call spheres of wealth. The first one being the spiritual wealth. You need that. And the second one being your health,
Physical health.
wealth, physical
Yeah.
wealth. And then the third one is your relationships. No man is an island. You live in this world with other people. And you know, the better relationships you have with people, the happier you will be. Can you imagine if you are just waking up, you are alone in the house, nobody to talk to? What kind of life would that be?
What if you're an introvert?
Even if you're an introvert, you occasionally need to talk to people. And even if you're an introvert, did you give birth to yourself? No, you have family. And let me tell you, the issue of introvert or extrovert,
Yeah.
those are not like life sentences.
You're not cast on stone as one personality. You actually choose.
Yeah.
You can choose your personality.
Yeah. And introvert should not be an excuse not to relate with people, because you can't be introvert throughout the year. You have certain tendencies. Like I can tell you for sure, I have some introvert tendencies, which you may not
me
know.
as well, yeah.
There are times like after these shows we are doing,
You just want to
I just want to go
be
and
by yourself,
yes.
yeah.
I want to go and sit somewhere, reflect, unwind.
Reflect on life.
Yes, and that's introversion in itself. There are people who leave a show like this, they want to go to a club, they want to go dance, they want, they can't wait to meet their friends and just talk about how the show was.
Yeah.
That's extroversion. So my point here being, whether you have primarily introverted or introversion as your
tendencies, yeah,
or extroversion, you all need people around you. But when I talk about relationships, it's not just about relationships with others. Relationships start with you. How do you relate to
with
you?
yourself.
You must love you, because you can't love other people if you don't know how to love you. They say you can't pour from an empty cup. So you need, first of all, to value you. The first question you always must ask yourself is, who am I to me? Can I shock you? A lot of people are strangers to themselves. They have never met themselves. And that is why if you ask some people, who are you?
You say your job first. Yeah.
So you need to know who you are. Then you need to value you. You need to occasionally treat yourself well. Take yourself out.
Yeah.
Go and have me time. Be nice. I think that's what they say in the language of youngsters.
What I used to do when I get paid is go and eat a burger properly just by myself.
Yes. If you do something to make you feel good, you will also be able to extend that goodness to people.
To other people.
But if you're always there with your funny, negative thoughts, feeling horrible about life, what happens when you go out there? You will just dish out that negativity, that toxicity.
Yeah.
So you need to feel good about yourself by treating yourself well, by appreciating yourself. Occasionally go and buy yourself an outfit you like. Look good also. And those are some of the things. You relate with yourself well, define your values, what you like, what you don't like.
Yeah.
Have boundaries. Then you will know how to relate with other people. Secondly, it's now how you deal with other people. And we have several ways you relate with people.
Yeah.
The first one is a level I call the intimate level, where perhaps you're talking about a spouse, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, somebody you are romantically involved with. And I say for that level of relationship, you need to be friends with that, uwajue. Otherwise, utajikuta na mashida mingi sana. Because some people want to come to you just to take advantage of you, or just to feel they are associated with a certain class,
Yeah.
You need to get somebody, you rhyme, you have a convergent point in terms of how you two think, your value systems, your dreams, your aspirations.
Your rhythm.
Yes. Not just someone who is aroused by just seeing you, your figure, no, that's okay. But beyond that, because remember, what we see can fade and will fade. And not always be like that. It also, something can happen. Somebody, God forbid, gets in an accident and they are deformed. Then what? They take off. You may have to take care of somebody for the rest of your life. So you must make sure that this is somebody who has something more than what is physical. Somebody you can have intellectual conversations with. Somebody you have similar dreams, similar values.
There's the place of convergence that brings you together, other than just attraction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other than just physical attraction.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And I think a lot of people find themselves off balance by choosing wrong partners. Maybe not wrong partners, but people whom they are not aligned. And so you are totally off.
Very true.
Okay.
Before you go to the next pillar, I'm still on relationships. We have talked about self, I've talked about intimate, and we have now these social relationships of what we loosely call friends. You see, when you go out there, you need to have social capital. You need to have people who can, for example, recommend you or refer you to some place. Like where we are shooting this TV show today, I'm so glad to say to the viewers that this is courtesy of Esther's social capital. She talked to their owners and they agreed to allow us to come here.
Yeah.
What if you didn't know them?
Yeah.
The story would have been different, isn't it? So social capital is very important. And that is one thing that a lot of people don't know how to cultivate. And to be honest, we are always one connection away from the next big thing.
Yeah.
Somebody's recommendation somewhere can mean the difference between you getting entry or you having that door shut.
Yeah. Just like how I met you through Regina.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in life, it matters who you know and who knows you.
Yeah.
And as you go about building that particular level of relationships, always know this. There are 3 different kinds of people you will encounter in the social circles. The first one, I call them constituents. Constituents are people who come to you simply because there's something they think they can gain from you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing beyond that they want. In other words, they are not there for you.
Yeah.
They are there for themselves. And they can
Is that
become...
a wrong thing?
It's a wrong thing because
Okay.
they become parasites.
Okay.
They can drain you.
It's not a mutually beneficial relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
So you need to be careful with such people. I'm not saying you shouldn't have them, but you need to know who they are so that you know where you are drawing the line. Because to be honest, as a human being, you will always feel obliged to help here and there.
Yeah.
But then where do you draw the line so that you don't get drained?
Yeah.
And the people you are dealing with, are they people, if you needed something done, that they can come through for you and say, oh, Esther did ABCD for me. I honestly feel I should pay back.
I really get, and I also value that lately, reciprocity. People who understand the value of reciprocity in relationships
Yes.
as opposed to taking.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what constituents behave like?
Yeah.
If you imagine members of parliament, when they come to us, what do they tell us? Oh, we are going to bring piped milk, I don't know what. They make all these manner of promises.
Yeah.
And we give them our votes because we have selfish interests. We imagine that what they are saying, they are going to do for us. We have not put them there because of them. We have put them there because of our own interests. But what happens if they don't meet those promises? We will be saying, wacha mtakuja hapa, in the next 5 mtakuja. Kick you out.
Same people will punish you. They'll raise you and still punish you.
Yeah, because they were just constituents. They just had selfish interests. Then we have other people I call comrades, and comrades are people who come to you and you meet them all over because maybe there is some battle they are feeling. This one, if we incorporate Esther,
you're in the same journey.
Yeah, they can help us fight. They are there, they think they can leverage on you to fight a certain battle. But the problem is, whatever battle it is, and I'll give you some examples, whether it is won or lost, they go their own way. They have no more business with you.
Oh, so it's as long as you're in the journey. Okay.
And sometimes they'll put you in trouble because you can be drafted into a battle or a war that ends up hurting you. In the excitement of the moment, you join something. Like, as you said, maandamano. I used to see a lot of this in the University of Nairobi, and I believe in all the universities here in Kenya, it happens the same. When people go to the streets and they start saying, comrade power, because that time, you join this bandwagon and you don't even know, what is this comrade power? What are they really fighting? And sometimes it was as stupid as there were no chapatis in the menu. There was the stupid thing.
And it costs you your university life. Yeah.
Yes.
I get that.
In our times, you could be sent to go and see the chief who was 14 kilometers from home and there were no vehicles. So you have to walk to the chief, walk back. Sometimes you don't find him. You're told, come tomorrow. Very high cost.
Yeah.
And the third one, which is now what I advocate for, this is where people should pay a lot of attention, is the level I call confidence. People who are with you for you. People who genuinely care about your welfare. When they talk about Esther, they talk about Esther with...
You're invested in each other.
Yes. They hold you in high esteem. If they hear there is an opportunity somewhere, they will call you and tell you, Esther, is this happening? Please come. And you see, if you don't, let's say it requires some investment and you don't have the money. If they have, they will tell you, don't worry, we can put some money for you because we don't want you to miss out. When you get, we know you will sort us out.
Yeah.
And then they will not be putting you through DCI interrogation or, taking you through so many questions which are making you embarrassed,
Yeah.
They love you. If they hear there's something negative out there being said about you,
They will stand in that gap.
They won't say it's not true. They want to know what is the truth in this, if there is. And they will approach you with a view to ABCD is happening. If there's some truth, please deal with it so that we do damage control. And if not, they will defend you. Do you have those kind of people? And I tell people there's an acid test you can do. Supposing today you needed, let's say, some money. Can you pick your phone and call someone and they just tell you, okay, where do I put it? Do I put it in this phone or do you want it in the bank account? Where are you?
Yeah.
Can I bring it? Now, if you don't have people like those, then you know you don't have any confidence.
And is it normal? Do many people have people like that?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Remember how I defined personal development?
Yeah.
Being intentional? Because many people don't intentionally develop or cultivate this kind of relationship.
Yeah.
When you talk
We're
about
arm's
confidence,
length, many of us.
You need to spend time with them to know them and for them to know you. You also need to spend sometimes your resources. If they're in need, you will come through for them because the same will happen if you are in need. You also need to spend emotional energy. You need to keep checking on them from time to time to just find out how are you doing. Like when I was coming for this show, when I was in that jam, I got a call from a number I could not recognize.
Yeah.
And I picked. And this guy says, hi Steve, how are you? Imagine I'm just calling to find out how you are. And I'm like, I don't even have this number. Who am I speaking to, please?
Yeah.
It turns out maybe when I changed my handset, numbers got lost.
Yeah.
And he tells me who he is. We haven't talked for a few months. Like, wow. He's just calling me to find out how
It's such
I
a
am
good feeling.
doing.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling.
It gave me a special kind of high. So relationships are very, very important. And there's a research, by the way, as I conclude on relationships, that was done that shows people who live the longest are not necessarily people who have everything you'd imagine. They have a lot of money. No. It's people who are happy simply because of the quality relationships
that they have.
People who know if I'm going through ABCD, I can call someone, we'll talk about it, and that person will encourage me. That person will just make me feel it's not the end of the world. They'll give me a shoulder to lean on.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. And it's mutual because you also do the same for them. So relationships are
so important. Wow.
Yes.
And in this era of cut-off culture where we cut people off, I think just that reminder is very useful. Yeah. Number 4.
Number 4 is your money, personal finance.
Why is money number 4?
Numbering here is not in order of importance. Let me just say that. Okay. Though the spiritual pillar will still put it very high because when you have everything right with God, He's your provider. But finance, personal finance, a big elephant in many people's lives. And right now, we live in this concrete jungle called Nairobi. Perhaps where you live, you don't grow anything. You have every morning to buy it, you know. Even here, maybe before we leave, we'll have spent some money. Without money, there is not much you can do, isn't it? Money, somebody said kwa Kiswahili, ni mvunja mlima. Any mlima, it will, any mountain, or in the human
anything realm. Actually money is probably the solution to a lot of things.
So this particular pillar is a pillar you need to take very seriously, like all the other pillars, because there comes a time when perhaps you don't even have the energy or the opportunities you used to have, and if you had not taken care of your money matters, then you are in for a rude shock, or you are in for a very depressing time in your life. And I'm talking about old age. So the sooner somebody embraces the idea of financial freedom, knowing how to prepare to be financially free, the better. Because you're not going to be energetic throughout your life.
Yeah.
So you need to understand money and the principles of money and start applying them. Be very intentional from a very early age. And I just hope the young people who will watch this particular video will take what I'm saying seriously.
Yeah.
Because without money, let me tell you, even some people will just get out of your life. There are people who are just with you because they know kuna kakitu atapata. The moment there is nothing.
Like,
even family members,
Yeah.
you become a burden.
but that is true.
You become a burden. But you know, financial freedom begins with financial literacy. And financial literacy is simply just getting a set of skills that will help you know how to
navigate
the money matters, meaning how to generate it, how to keep it, how to multiply it.
Those
And
are the three.
Yes, and I want to share with people, with viewers, some spiritual laws of money, which I believe in.
Okay.
And this can help you start your journey to understanding money and becoming financially free. The first spiritual law of money is this, that the universe has a lot of money for you. And I know that you're about to ask me, iko wapi?
Even Brian is wondering, where is it?
You know it's there because since the world was created, no money has left planet Earth. Si ni kweli? Have you seen any billionaire akizikwa na pesa yake?
No.
God forbid, let me talk about our dear Baba. See, Baba was buried recently, and may God rest his soul in eternal peace. If you checked, apart from the coffee and the fly whisk, did they put any money there?
No.
No. So Baba, whatever he owns, he left here. Now, here is the point. That law adds, the universe has a lot of money for you, but it will only give you as much money as you can manage. Meaning, having money is a function of management. Because even the Bible tells us, what you cannot manage, you lose. If you can't manage your family, you lose it. You can't manage your health, you lose it. You can't manage money, you lose it. So what happens to many people? You get a little money, you get excited, you go and spray, finished. Even if you get too much of it.
Have a good relationship with yourself.
Yeah, you can have a good relationship while still managing your money well. You don't have to go and spend it all. You know, there are people who operate on this principle. When they have money, it's either the money gets finished or they get finished. And since
It's like me and money cannot sleep in the same house.
If somebody gets 1 million shillings,
it has to be done.
The money has to come down to what they call manageable levels, to their level. And that's called money temperature.
Yeah.
So what I advocate for, so that one understands this law, is that you need to know what your money temperature is and you need to raise it. Some people have a very low money temperature. Do you know what that means? A low money temperature means, let's say you get, somebody gets 10,000 now from wherever. They are only used to being comfortable with 100 bob. They will spend 9,900 in whatever manner, and they will only realize, hey, pesa inakwisha when they have 100. Because that's their money temperature. So billionaires have a very high money temperature. Even if, I remember Aliko Dangote saying the first time he had, now he's a billionaire, he went and withdrew a whole billion.
Just to see how it looks.
Yes, and you know, it was money that was packed in a truck. He went with it home.
Wow.
He just put it there just to feel the billion. But he never even spent a dime of it. He never spent any... It didn't excite him.
Someone said the more you get it, the more even your needs reduce. You don't even feel like you want to spend now.
That is true.
Yeah.
Because you know, so you get to a point where it's not about you now. This money, you want to help other people.
Yeah.
So that law is simply telling us that we need to learn how to manage money. We need to learn how to be comfortable with money. We need to raise our money temperature. So it is so high that it doesn't bother you. You can deal with whatever figures. They don't excite you.
They don't excite you. So,
and that means you have outgrown the issue of chasing money. You're chasing something bigger than money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. I like that.
So the spiritual law number 2 says money is an energy. You know what that means? In physics, I know Brian here, and people who are watching may be wondering, who is this Brian they're talking about? He's a camera guy. He's our Gen Z guy who is doing the shooting of this show. Amazing guy. Brian just came from school recently, so he may relate with this very well. That in physics we were taught, you cannot create energy and you cannot destroy energy. The only thing you can do with the energy is convert it from one form to another. Because energy is there. It's there in matter, it's there in many forms. So if you want energy to serve you, then you have to decide what form do you want it to serve you in so that you convert it. For example, water is energy. When you want to generate electricity, what do? You go build a dam, then you create these beautiful falls, they go and turn turbines, and you generate electricity. It was from water, but now it's electricity that's doing other things. It's the same thing with money. When you have money, ideally when you hear that money is energy, it means if you want to multiply money, if you want to grow money, you must then learn forms of conversion. Because it's never about how much money you get, it's what you do with it. So it is activating your entrepreneurial spirit. And we all have it. But for many of us, it's just dormant.
Yeah.
Remember the intentionality? So when you have money, you have to be intentional in terms of growing that money.
How can I grow it? Okay.
Yes. So when you get this money, again, if you go back to law number 1, don't get too excited. Learn how to convert. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Number 3, it says money loves money. I love this because when you say money loves money, it's like if you wanted friends, you wouldn't go and make friends with cows. Or will you? You want friendship with people? Yes. So money loves money simply means you need to put money where there is money. Look for places where you can invest which are already making. Like money. Now if you wanted to buy stocks, you want to study which are the best performing companies so that your money can grow faster. In other words, you're saying it's okay to do startups, but it's better to put your money in a $1 billion company than to start a startup of 10,000. You are owning 100% of something that's not giving you much.
Yeah.
You can own 1% of something that can give you much more than the 100% you have. So it's good to be wise and learn. You don't always have to start things. It's okay to start.
It's okay,
but if you don't have a lot of money, you can first put your money where it can generate because it's already doing that. And then once you have accumulated, you can go on and start your own thing now when you already have the muscle. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. When you actually have real capital to start something worth it.
Yes.
Okay.
And the other money you put there, you still leave some that is running, you know? You're just taking maybe the interest.
Okay.
Number 4, money demands respect. This is one area many people fail.
We've disrespected money.
Yes. Then you know what disrespecting money means? Using money for things you don't need. When you are just overexcited and you are so involved in luxurious things, show-off things, one day the money will embarrass you. How? You will need it and it won't be there. You probably even have a very urgent something to do, emergency. And you know you can call Steve or someone who can send you the money you need. Then you pick your phone, you hadn't checked, there's 1%. Just when they say hello, it dies on you. Those are the kind of embarrassments money takes you through when you disrespect money.
Yeah.
And some of the ways people disrespect money is simply by using money, number 1, without a budget. They use their money the way you would put peanuts in a pocket and you're just picking a piece like this. Eventually, it's empty. That's how most people behave. So money wants you to have a budget. And a budget is simply a tool that tells your money where it should be going. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And you don't budget when you have that money. Budget even before it comes. You have a plan. It's
so
a plan.
You pay.
Yes. Also, another way of disrespecting money is when you get money, you don't put aside something for a rainy day. So you need to save your money before you even touch it.
Yeah.
Agree with yourself. What percentage are you putting aside? As a rule of the thumb, I say you can put 10% to begin with. But as you become more affluent, as you start getting blessed, you can start saving even more. to a point where now maybe you save even 90%. Yeah, or all of it, because now you're in a place where you are given allowances, your mileage, so you don't even need to touch your
Those
earnings.
will be good days.
Yeah. Remember, you are CEO and president of yourself. So if you just grow yourself, add value, personal development, you will
more
get there.
skills,
Yeah,
more revenue,
more skills.
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah,
Money.
and another way of disrespecting money is where you earn it in dubious ways. So make sure your money is clean. That way God will bless you.
It stays.
Usipate pesa na njia ambazo si halali. Number 5, that money that I said the universe has for you, which is a lot, is accelerating towards you at the same rate you are accelerating towards it. Do you know what that means? That your money the universe has,
it also wants to come to you.
And it's going to come at the same rate you will go towards it. It simply means where money is, it will never have legs and come. It's about your initiatives, your speed of action. Usiwe tu unasema nataka pesa. Unataka pesa, what are you doing? Because you know, I did a post yesterday where I was saying, I don't know where I saw it, on Facebook, that the universe does not respond to our needs. It responds to our deeds.
Wow.
You know,
Interesting.
so what are you doing
so
to
you
get
can't
that
wait
money?
for it.
No.
Wish for it, manifest it.
It's not like a bus, you go to a bus stop, it will come at this hour. No. You must do things to manifest. You must take action. In this world, there is no such thing as something for nothing. You need to decide what you really want out of life in terms of money and everything else. And then you realize there is a price to pay. You pay the price. The money will come. That makes sense?
Makes sense.
Finally, number 6, you have to have an abundance mentality. Many people live on what I call a scarcity mentality. What's the difference? When you have a scarcity mentality, number 1, you don't even believe you're supposed to have. It's like you are so conditioned to living poorly that you feel you are born to be poor. In fact, even when you see other people having, you are jealous, unawachukia. You're not even happy, but you're upset. You feel like they owe you. They don't. So when you have an abundance mentality, it means 1, you totally believe you are meant to live a good life. You're meant to thrive, not strive. You're not born here to struggle.
You are the good life, and the good life is you.
And that way, it means when you see other people having, you appreciate and you keep praying God to bless them more. And as He does that, He's blessing you. And when you get, you also learn that you need to uplift other people.
Other people,
yes.
Yeah. That's amazing. So, and in fact, just find out, how did they get there? You know, learning, how did they get there? What can you do to enhance yourself so that you can also have the same?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Because, you know, anything you want in this world, somebody else already has. So what it needs is for you to be humble enough to
learn how they did it.
Have a teachable spirit.
So number 1, spiritual, money.
Number 2 was health.
Number 2, health. Number 3, relationships. Then number 4, money. Number 5.
Number 5 is your mind. Remember I told you I'm a mindset architect. The mind is everything. If you have an asset that can give you, can get you anything you want in this world, it is here. How you use your mind. And it's so powerful that actually a guy called Napoleon Hill has written a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
You've read that book?
Listened to the audiobook.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that book, he says something that is very, very powerful. That more gold has been mined from the minds of men than has ever been mined from the earth. You know what that means? If you took all the gold, and you know, the wealth of the world is gauged by gold. You know, any country that calls itself wealthy has some gold bullion stored somewhere. Recently, I heard that Kenya wants to have its gold stored in UK.
Yeah.
But that's a topic for another day. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is gold is a measure of value, right? And imagine if gold is a measure of value, and all countries want to feel they have gold that is relatable to their level of wealth. But Napoleon is telling us, despite the fact that gold as we know it is a universal measure of wealth, more gold or more value
is in the mind.
Is here and has actually been mined from the mind. And let's put that into context. Think about all the planes that are flying in the air. They were once just an idea.
Ideas.
Before 1903, we didn't even have any planes in the air. The Wilbur brothers, the Wright brothers, Wilbur and Orville.
Yeah.
They are the ones who came up with this idea, and they got a lot of support. And eventually, because of their innovation, we have modern planes now and all manner of flights.
Yeah.
So before 1903, that particular goal had not been mined from the mines. But now look at what it is doing. Look at the submarines. Look at all these tall buildings. Look at even the clothes we wear, everything. Look at these phones.
Yeah.
So
It comes from the mind.
The value of all that
Yeah.
outweighs the value of actual gold. That's the meaning of that. Let's come to personal development and the mind. It means that anything you want in this world today, all you need to do is think. Because the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. You have a lot of gold here. You have a gold mine. But many people don't know where to mine. It is here. What do you want? What kind of life do you want? Think about it. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve.
That's so powerful.
So you need to understand that your mind is your greatest asset. Take care of it. What are you feeding that mind? The mind is like a computer. It works on the same principle of giggle. Garbage in, garbage out. What are you feeding your mind? If you feed your mind with garbage, your life becomes garbage.
Yeah.
But if you are intentional in terms of feeding your mind with good conversations like this one, reading good books, listening to people who have good ideas, that is what you're going to manifest.
Rich. Yeah.
You become very rich. So you have to be intentional in terms of growing your mind, in terms of feeding your mind, and also in terms of taking your mind to the laundry. If there are all these negative,
a lot of us need that.
All these negative things that somebody has been thinking about, it's time to start cleaning intentionally. And then start replacing that, because you can't have a vacuum. Start replacing that with good stuff, with progressive stuff, positivity. Have the right attitude of life. And that's basically what the mind is about. Yes.
Amazing.
And in one of these shows, we are going to break down those pillars into details, what people really need to do. But for today, we're just talking about what the pillars are. So it's about the mind.
Yeah.
And the mind is everything.
Is everything.
Is everything. Wow. Okay. Everything.
I would put that at number 2, I think.
If perhaps you were to put them in order.
Yeah.
Yes.
I might, Number 6 then.
Number 6.
Yeah.
The last pillar is about your work. Your work. We spend most of our waking hours at work. And of course, we get our money from the work we do. But the tragedy is that most people are doing things that don't make them happy. And when something doesn't make you happy, it's impossible for you to give your best. And when you don't give your best, then you also don't optimize on the returns.
Yes.
And the reason is simple. Why are people doing that? Most people have not found the work that God intended for them to do. Most people are doing jobs. A job is something you are employed and paid to do. But your work is not something anybody needs to employ you. You actually get deployed.
It's your mission.
It's your mission. And when you get deployed, nobody can sack you. Nobody can sack you from your work, but you can be sacked from a job. Why can't you be sacked from your work? Because your work, which is the assignment God has for you in this world, is tied to your gifts and talents and natural abilities, which God has already put in you. You cannot sack somebody from their gift. If you operate in your area of gifting, that is from cradle to grave. That also means that you operate above the law, because nobody can regulate or legislate gifts.
Yeah.
And I don't mean you operate illegally. I mean, it is something that operates within the divine law, not man's law. For example, if you are a good musician, how do you legislate what music somebody is producing, what melody they are going to use? You don't do that. It's a gift. Hiyo ni ya Mungu. Albeit that some people will misuse it, but you cannot control the kind of melody I'll produce. You can't control how the birds will sing. You cannot. So you find your gift and you become an unstoppable force of nature. And that is what I call life purpose. When you discover your gifts, your talents, your natural abilities, and things that you're passionate about, things that put you in a flow state, that makes you unstoppable. And the next show, I hope we're going to discuss purpose.
Purpose, yes.
So that's very
I've really enjoyed
important.
this, Personal development, 6 pillars.
6 pillars.
I've learned a lot, and just to sum it up, and just to understand how every being balanced is being connected in different sectors and being whole, and how each sector connects to the other to ensure that you get the best out of your life through personal development.
Very true. And maybe as a conclusion to this particular show, I would like to quote a guy called Jim Rohn who said, you should work more on yourself than you work on your job. You should also educate yourself about yourself more than you even do about academics. And the way he put it is, formal education will give you a living, but personal development will make you a fortune. Because you become an asset that nobody can ignore. You become very magnetic. Instead of chasing, you start attracting. Yes.
All right. Hasn't it been such a rich session to have a conversation on personal development, to check your spirituality, to check your health, to check your relationships, to check your money, to check your mind, and to check all that you need to check so that you're a wholesome human being, and finally to know your life's purpose through your work? Isn't it amazing to just develop and harness that so that you can make the best of yourself, just like the plot of land that you have? How can you make it even more valuable? I know we've learned a lot, and thank you for staying all the way till the end. Stay tuned and keep subscribing. Share with everyone who you feel needs to learn and know this. And we will be seeing you next as we talk about purpose. I'll see you next time. I've been your host, Esther Neema, with Stephen Muiru here of Born to Lead Academy. See you next time.